we know the dangers lurking online, but what is the answer? Should we be banning our teens from social media sites? At this point, I think that's an impossibility, Jan.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The cat is out of the bag, isn't it? And if you think, you know, Jessie is in probably the most successful girl band now since the Spice Girls, but of course the Spice Girls didn't have to put up with social media when they were at their height. It's in their DNA now. Social media is part of the younger generation's life. It's you know, and almost if you're in the playground at you know, the age of 14 and you're not on social media, you're feeling excluded because that's what everybody else is talking about. For me, I think there's a very, very simple solution, and that is no one is allowed to open an account online unless it's their real name or they are traceable. So when you book a flight, you have to put in your passport details and your name and your address. They need to know who you are. Why can you not do that on social media? And then it will make those morons that send her those comments think twice before they sit there being brave behind their anonymous name.
You can still trace people, though. You can trace people through IP addresses from their computers and
yeah, but have you ever tried doing that? People say it just takes... You just can't, you know...
No,
it's
you can't do it.
It's about stopping them from making those comments in the first place because people know who they are.
Well, it's not going to happen, is it? But the thing is, like you say, you can't stop people from looking at them either. And the fact is, if you look at good stuff, you have to look at bad stuff. And I think it is unnecessary to be that nasty for anybody. But they can be, and they are. And people like you, Amber, as well, you know, you get it. And poor Jessie saying that she just, you know, she's so unhappy and she's in the best girl band in the world at the moment. It is heartbreaking, but she said she posts pictures of herself for approval. So she wants people to say, oh, you look amazing. And you know, the way she poses herself and everything, you do look amazing. But then if somebody says you don't, it's cracking her up. So in a way, you kind of have to toughen up to it or get off it. And I know you say it's not simple. The cat is out of the bag, but
yeah, it's difficult
you either have to get off it or get used to it, because you can't ban it and you can't stop people from putting stuff on there.
Amber, you're perfectly placed because you obviously went into Love Island. Nobody knew who you were. Yeah. So I think you said to me earlier you went from 4,000 followers to nearly 3 million. Yeah. How did that must have felt like an absolute hammer over the head when you came out.
Yeah, it's totally crazy. You get a lot of love, but you do get hate. And I personally just try to kind of laugh off any negative comments that I get.
What sort of things were people saying?
Oh, all sorts. You get death threats, like anything. But, like, I think it's so... Like, it just shocks us so much that I find it, like, funny in a weird way. Like, how can somebody think that's OK to send that? Like, what went on in your head to think that was all right?
But you're in your early 20s. Imagine if you were sort of 14 or 15.
Yeah, it's awful, but, you know, you've just got to laugh it off and you've got to take the good with the bad.
But there's also people you don't know that you're probably never going to meet. And OK, maybe it's easy for me to say, but I don't know why anybody would be bothered by something that somebody says when you don't know them and you're never going to know them.
I think that's easier said, isn't it, when you're a strong person. Yeah. You are a strong person. But I'm guessing even you, as a strong person, have days where you feel weaker and those things do hit you. And that's why there's an ad on at the minute. I don't know if any of you've seen it. It's Bernardo's ad. That's the nature of where we're at now. It's not the little groups and gangs at school anymore. It's with that tiny little phone that we all carry everywhere with us, controls everything in our life and can absolutely destroy you. And there's a little girl in that too who played very well, clearly. And you think, how do you fix that? How do you even attempt to fix or to stop that? Because you're in misery.
By putting... I don't understand. So anyone here, you say that's not going to happen when I said everybody has to be who they are online. Why can that not happen? Legislation, you could force the social media companies to say, right, you're not allowed to take anybody unless we absolutely know who they are. It's very simple, I think. Why can that not happen? Give me one argument why it shouldn't.
Can we not start to fine these companies? Like, why can we not start fining the big social media companies?
But I mean,
millions
Instagram have put in a couple of features. It says here to combat bullying. So one, that you can create a list of restricted followers so that you can screen and block certain comments. The other thing now is that Instagram will warn users if they're about to post a comment that the algorithm flags up as rude or upsetting. That's good. I think that's a very good move by Instagram. But for me, just everybody being who they are and traceable by one click, not by, you know, the public tracing them, but by the law. You know, there are court cases now. There are murder cases where they have to spend 6 to 8 months, the police, trying to get access to Facebook accounts. It's like this private world.
Because they have to protect the privacy of the people who aren't doing anything wrong. You can't suddenly say, well, you know, everybody has to have everything out there in the open.
No, but why can you not just be who you are? You're sitting on the show.
Well,
you are Carol McGiffin saying your stuff.
I know.
You're not sitting here in silhouette because you don't want... because you can't stand by your opinion.
I know. It's a tough one, and one obviously we can't fix today on the show, but it is awful. Just keep an eye on
When
all
I'm
of our
Prime
teenagers.
Minister, I'll fix it.
Absolutely. Or indeed Jane Bond.